Do I walk in? Okay, I walk in. Okay, I walk in. Hello, judges, queens, and Devin. I'd like to formally introduce you to my roast. You see, I've been working quite some time on a project I'd like to call FBSB, which stands for Fat Bitches Should Burn. And the head of the company, Rome, is here. I am so glad you can make it because when walking, or in your case, rolling, you have a tendency to steer yourself to any burger joint nearby. It is an unhealthy disorder that my company, FBSB, is working on for you to have a vegan option in every department, which is highly needed. Knowing that when your food is delivered to your home, your first question is, "This isn't vegan." And I'd like for all of us to point our direction to Devin, who is also having a struggle of terror, but it is not being fat, unfortunately. It is interruption because even when her clothes are on her body, they look like they've been entered and corrupted. Interruption. It is a sad, sad day for this poor bohemian child. Wait, tell me what? Oh, I thought it. Rome, F you, because I thought I was muted when you said that. For this sad bohemian child. Am I right, Kiyomi? Kiyomi would know. Well, you see, Kiyomi works down at the sweatshop for less than minimum wage or what she calls enough money to buy a cheeseburger. She works down with Q Mangu because they are in fact lesbian bodybuilders. You can tell how their waists are a little bit thinner than ours and a lot thinner than Rome's. Now, I'd like to say, delicious. It is in fact the roast of you, and I'd like to say there is nothing more than you love more than a roast. Especially pork bitch, you are one nasty cannibal. Now, ladies, this is all the jokes and stokes I have for you. Catch me next time as I host Skinny versus Fat, where Rome is obviously the fat one, and well, Lauren's obviously the skinny one. Like her bones are so big, and yet her skin is so small. She's serving Lexi love. Now, I'll see you later. I'd also tie my hair back just a bit. But don't look at me sideways.
Hello, hello. Hopefully, Aquafina's outfits work better than that. And speaking of that, hey, Aquafina, I'm still here. Now, high estimated panel of judges, and by judges, I'm talking about Evie's funny personalities, guys. And in fact, they remind me of a pair of shoulder pads. One looks to the right, and the other looks to the left. Now, I've known Rome Barbie from back in the good old Katie 3 days, and honey, you've grown so much since then. You now weigh 10 more pounds. And you also paint your pimple on the left side. Because truly, it's never right with you. Kiyomi! Hi, Kiyomi Hilton. She's my tiara sister, and you can't keep a girl down. Or that overbite. You are so, so right. You were baptized on January 6th. I think I stooped too low with that, excuse me. Now, finally, Imangu, she's good at a lot of things. Styling, outfit making, letting down the judges. She stooped lower than that submarine that was looking for the Titanic. But in her case, she was probably digging deep for some taste level. Now, with that being said, I would like to introduce the next roaster and probably the next person to eat the entire chicken because she's fucking fat. It's Devinator! Oh, let me just walk out. I ate that.
Yes. M. Oh, that was not classy.
Oh!
So, sisters, first of all, rest in pieces, Arlicious. Just know that Butterfly will never be able to carry on your legacy. Now, for this roast, we have so many iconic divas with fierce, fierce drag. From Kimmy's match list! Yes, give it up for all our queens today! Thank you! Now, let's get this roast a-cooking. And on the menu today, we have Kiyomi and Butterfly's track records. And going off that first roast, I think Neeply's in trouble too tonight, sister. Now, you may have noticed my hair texture does not match my bangs, and that's because I was inspired by our fallen sister Audilicious tonight. Yes, yes, yes. And now, as her daughter, I know that I have some pretty big shoes to fill. However, those shoes will never be big. However, those shoes will never be as big as Kayomi's shoes. That Kyumengu has still tried to fill, even after all these years of her time in HOH. Kyumengu, I remember when you were a baby queen. Truly. When you couldn't lip sync, when you won that girl group and everyone disagreed, and when you tanked that lip sync against Butterfly. Oh wait, that was last week. And Kyumengu, you have spent longer trying to copy Kayomi than Butterfly has spent on a look for a girl group challenge. Now, Miss Lazily Lau. Sister, people
Oh,
might call
hi.
you lazy, but truly you are not lazy. Because for me, being lazy as for me,
No
being
longer.
lazy is to get all your drag ghost built by Autolicious. Ahem, Butterfly, ahem. Now, last week you got clocked for your sickening musical look. And I was so confused because your drag is so musical in itself. Always one note.
Like this roast.
Oh, now sister, don't talk back, because I know you can't talk, period. And
But I just
Kayomi, I know these girls are always saying your quals is rigged, your seasons are rigged, the judging is unfair. But sister, I do stand with you. Giving Humangu that win finally granted her Make-A-Wish Foundation dream, and for that, that's sickening drag. Neplea, truly you are the purple diva of the intergalactic galaxy. And I loved how you went for a more retro look last week. And the week before. And the week before. Oh, yes, Diva, because your drag is what? Dated. And talking about dating and dating many men. Hi, Audelicious. Audelicious, you are such a whore. When I asked you to name a vegetable, you said Vaseline and a cucumber, bitch. But hey, at least that is one more vegetable than Butterfly can name. And wait, Miss From Barbie, finally, I know I did not forget about you. Miss From Barbie, sister, how are you still here? I thought the pregnant Barbie got discontinued years ago. Thank you, sisters. And that is my roast tonight.
that
That's so funny.
On the little spread.
Well, thank you, Rome, for that.
I
That
hear a
was so
faggot.
uncomfortable. Welcome, everyone, to the Roast of Oddilicious. Tonight we have an amazing cast with us. Also, Devin's here. Not for long, though. Not for long. You know, before going back to Odd, I would like to say something about, the queens that we have here tonight. Neepliana is here. Neepliana's fashion reminds me of Oddilicious family. Not present. Anyway. Oddilicious, going back to you, you have such a big, big heart, even bigger than Rome, because you really grouped this cast and make them believe that they are all stars. Girl, you really are transcending the meaning of delusion. Next up, we have a beautiful, gorgeous, amazing, and talented. Wait. The producers are actually correcting me. Kiyomi is next. Kiyomi is next. Sorry about that. Anyway, and before I leave, I would like to say something nice about each of the queens here tonight. But I won't. Thank you.
IDK if she should roast Kiyomi when she's the Kiyomi impersonator.
엉덩이 빵빵빵 남자들은 탐탐탐 내 입술 냠냠냠 어디 가도 당당당 등장은 짠짠짠 띠자 팡팡팡 디스코 팡팡팡 Hello bitches.
Well, hello my dears. Welcome to the Roast of Oddilicious. It is I, the mother of Hilton Excellence, the one and only Kiyomi Hilton. Thank you for inviting me, Mother Oddilicious. Up first we have from her delusional pink world Neeply. Neeply is so pink even Bubblegum said, wow, that's a bit much. But, is her drag too much? I fear not. Lauren is bottom in real life and bottom in this competition. If she stood any higher, the internet connection would still ignore her. Oddilicious. My drag mother. Do you guys know that Oddilicious is so extra? Even Glitter said, chill, you're doing too much. They're called Oddilicious because normal-icious was already taken by someone with sense. Oddilicious be serving looks like a buffet but only the confusing dishes no one touches. Their fashion sense? Somewhere between runway and runaway. Miguel acts like the main character, but even the background extras be getting more screen time. Miguel says trust the process, but, what process? You're still loading. Your drag is horrible, Miguel, like everyone says when they rage quit or have a crash out quit drag. Now thank you for inviting me once again to this amazing wonderful show, The Roast of Oddilicious. My name is Kiyomi Hilton and good night House of Hearts. Mwah mwah mwah.
엉덩이 빵빵빵 남자들은 탐탐탐 내 입술 냠냠냠 어디 가도 당당당